Welcome to this video. This video is about HTMX. HTMX stands for Hypertext Markup Extension. HTMX. In this video, we will be going through this documentation. We will be mostly going through the Ajax part of this documentation. That is basically Ajax triggers, indicators, target, swapping, and till the confirming. That is the Ajax part. As we go through documentation, we will be also creating a to-do list project where we will be using Nodejs and MySQL for storing our to-dos. Okay, let's get started with the Ajax. I can also show you some prerequisites before starting. For this video, you need Xampp server. You can install Xampp server by checking on internet. Xampp is used for MySQL and Apache. It is a you can use it for it. We will be using it. As you can see, I'm already configured it to and MySQL database and Apache web server is running. This will help us to create our databases, and it will store our to-do list. Okay. So for your first prerequisite is Xampp server, where you will be running your MySQL server. Second prerequisite is Nodejs. You need to install your Nodejs in your operating system, because we will be using the Express for building our web server such that we can generate our request to that web server, because HTMX is all about request and all these things. As in this video, because we're primarily focusing on the Ajax part. Now let's just go to where we need to start. That is HTMX Ajax. Ajax stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Okay, you can see Ajax by searching on internet. Ajax is basically used to create HTTP request. Here you can see an example where there is a get request generated. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. How does Ajax works? In a browser, a browser creates a HTTP request and sends a HTTP request to server, and server responds to that thing. This is how Ajax works. Okay. Ajax allows web pages to be updated asynchronously by exchanging data with web server behind the scenes. This means it is possible to update parts of web page without deleting the whole page. Like if you want to replace some part of the website, we can do it using Ajax. You can get that part as a response from the server and display it on our website. Okay. So let's go to the Ajax. There are multiple types of request: HTTP request, GET request, PUSH request, POST request, and attach request, and delete request. HTMX makes us easier to write less code than Ajax and Fetch API, but HTMX is based on Ajax. In the back, it's generating Ajax. You can say attributes for generating GET request is Ajax GET. For post, Ajax post, Ajax put, Ajax patch, Ajax delete. Get request is for retrieving the data. Post is for mostly adding new data. Put is also for the same purpose. Delete is for deleting. Put can be for update. Okay, so you can also find this source about this HTTP request. You can also click here. It will you can go to and see the Ajax patch. What does a patch attribute will do? Okay, let's now try to create something. Okay, in this video we'll be creating a to-do list. So for that, let's now create a new folder. I already have a new folder named YouTube. Let's create new folder, to-do list. Okay, I am using VS Code in this video, so let me open VS Code here. Okay, You can see I have increased my contrast for the video so that it is visible to you. Let's create two folders. First is client, second is server. Not inside the client but with parallel server. Okay, now inside client we need to create something, okay, file called index.html, most basic file, and we can also use index app.css or style.css, any name you prefer. In the server side, for server side we need terminal. You can open terminal and we need to get inside our server file first, server directory, server folder, what you say. Okay, now we can initialize npm init. You can give our package name, version we want, description, to-do list, entry point index.js, test command. You can just let it go for now. These things, author, you can put name of yours, license, you can just type yes. Now you can see there is a file created on named package.json. Okay, let's after npm.init you need to install express, node install, npm install express. These things are prerequisite. You can easily understand it. As I'm doing, you just do it, it will work. Okay, now let's create our index.file. You can create it like this, touch index.js, or you can also go from here and create a new file. Okay, now inside this index.js we need to create a basic server, basic SQL server, basic server. So let's start with requiring require express. We also need to require something called chorus. Before that, let's just create some create some endpoints. Get request. Let me just go with the recommendation that AI is giving. It will be easier for me to go with it. Okay, and I can just console log here, console log I from server, and this is okay. And we need to listen to the start the server to listen to the port number. For that, for you can also check express documentation. We need to make it easier. Express documentation. Getting started. Hello world. You see app.listen port number. Let me pick up the whole code. Just you can see it's the same thing. You're requiring express this app variable port number 3000 and all this. Okay, now we need to start our server. To starting our server, just type node file and name of the file. Okay, our server is started at port number, listening at port number 3000. Let's now go to our index.html file and create a basic syntax. And for using HTMX, we need something like for installing HTMX. You need not to install from npm. You can directly use the script tag via cdn method, control C, and you need to put the script tag here in the last line, that is the before the ending tag of the body. Okay, after this you can use our HTMX easily. For this, just save it and you can check your output by using some kind of live server in VS Code. You can see that it's our running, it's client.index.html. To show something, let's just write h1 hello. Hello, this is to-do list using HTMX. Save, and You can see our website front end client side is working nicely here. Okay, to start with, let's start with basic design of website. First, we need h1 to-do list, and then we can have input field. Let's go with form. We can also go with form, input field, input text name, id, search, and then we also go to submit button, submit, submit. We can go input type, and in the last here I think so there is submit. Okay, again value add. Okay, you can also define a new an attribute to this input named placeholder. Add a work, but you can say to do. Save it. When you save it, you will see we have a to-do list. Add. Okay, now let's try to add something like this thing to show the output of our to do. I basically mean whatever the works we already have to be done. So we can use table tag or div like h p paragraph. You can paragraph and say I have to learn coding. This could be an to do a work in to do list. Just save it, and you can see I have just added it like that. Okay, let's now just do one thing. Add our style or css file. Okay, to add our style or css files inside the head element, you can type link css, and you can just see I have style or css named already. And style or css, you need to do this thing. You have to write some basic css, starting with this universal selector. I will give some margin and padding to set to 0, because the browser comes with some default margins. Margin 0 and padding 0. Okay, now we need to give our h1 and form some beautiful styling. So first, before doing that, let's just go with and wrap all this thing inside main. Okay, save, and you can just format this document. Okay, inside main, and now for main, in this type main, and let's go for item center. We're gonna do a line item center, and just save it. You can see now we have items aligned in center. Now we can give some margin from the top, or we can just do this thing called padding top percent. Let's just give 20%. Save it. This way we have our to-do list there. Now let's just add some background color, and this background color I will be adding to the whole body. ChatGPT if I want though, but I think this looks nice. Let's go to. You can also add a lot of properties if you want. There's something called shadow box. Shadow. You can go with 2 pixels, and you can just define colors. You can do with a lot of things here, and just leave it. I can get it using documentation if I want. But right now, let's just don't focus on this thing. Okay, it's quite good. We can add 3 more things here. First one is to delete a tree from list, or you can say it's done and done, or you can say delete, or we can say edit. Okay, I'm just adding this done delete here for no purpose, just for this purpose. You can give it an ID. I wanted to give some ID. Let's just give some ID query. Our to do. Okay, now save it. When you save it, you see we want to have some specific styling. You can do it using this thing. To do. To do. Okay. To do. Everything is same. Now we need something called display flex and flex direction as row. This way. This thing will work. Now in the paragraph, I'll not be using paragraph. I'll use some kind of. I can use some kind of logo or image, but I can just go with some button. You can go with button. Go with button. Okay. Button, and this is button. Don't worry about why its video is more concerned about HTML CSS. You'll come to know. Okay, we have done delete and edit. Let me add some CSS to it. It looks very bad. Okay, I can just type this thing. Our to do dot button. Okay, now for this button, we can just give some padding. First, we need a padding. Let's give 8 pixel. 8 pixel is a good number. And okay, and we can give some margin with 0 this way and 2 pixel this way. Then check CSS from internet. It's just that easy. And also increase the size of our text, font size, a little bit large. Save, and it looks good, but there's some problem. Our contents are not aligned. Justify content center, and it's not working. Let's just try to align items center. Save, and it's working. Okay, now we have a way to click done, delete, and edit on our to-do list. So let's start with our implementation using forward. Okay, first get request. Get request need to be generated almost every time when a get request will be generated when we are seeing our to-do list. That's when we are loading this page, we can say. So to generate a get request, we can use HTMX. Okay, you can type Ajax get, and you can provide a link here. Okay, now we need to generate a get request to which to our server. Okay, to generate a get request to our server, let's just go to localhost, and our server is running on 3000. Okay, you say our server is saying hello world. You just copy this path and just paste it here in the. Okay, this way, whenever there is a trigger, then this get request will be generated into this thing. Okay, let's just save it, and let's just see here. Inspect, refresh. You see, I'll click a request is generated. You can say something called cross origin policy. problem here. You can fix it. It's mostly from server side. Okay, let's just go to server side and just close server for now, and we can type npm install chorus. Chorus stands for cross origin resource sharing. Okay, to use chorus we need to require chorus const chorus, and just let's require chorus and use chorus and dot use cross origin resource sharing. This way it will resolve all that issue. And now click in the area. Okay, let me restart our server. Our server is off. Just restart our server. Okay, we are restart our server and then refresh this thing, and we click. See, we have our hello world. This hello world is from the response side. You see, here is an hello world. Okay, but what we need is a little different. We need these things. Means, okay, this means our target need to be defined here. Ajax target. Okay, inside target you can provide CSS selector. Let me show to the documentation. You can see I have generated the get put get request using this Ajax get attribute, and I provided the URL. Where we need to request the Ajax request. Now our triggering request. These things like input text area select are triggered on the change event. Form is triggered on the submit event, and all other things are generated on the click event. Okay, this is you can read about different types of Ajax triggers and different type of trigger modifiers. Let's just go to something we need here is target. Our target basically is used for which content will be changed as the response comes from the server. Okay, if you want the response to be loaded on a different element other than that one that made the request, you can use Ajax target attribute. This basically means the element which generated the request that does not have the response. Something else will having the response. So for that you are using Ajax target. You can see here it is used. You can use CSS selector for that thing. As a type our to do and just save it. When you save it, and let's just go to here and refresh this page and click it. You see hello world comes here. Okay, this means how things are working. Now from our index.js we need to use MySQL. We need to use MySQL. For using MySQL we need to install MySQL. Well, let's just stop our server. You can type npm install MySQL 2. Let's just wait until it's being downloaded. Okay, it is being downloaded. Now let's just require this MySQL 2. Const MySQL is equals to require MySQL 2. Okay, now let's just use it. Const pool. You can check this MySQL thing using internet. You can just type Nodejs and MySQL to connection string using pooling. This will get some pages like this one, or you can go with some other page also like this one. Any page doesn't matter. You're not for any specific page. AC connection pool. Lot of you can also see example from Stack Overflow. Okay, let's just now create our connection. Alright, let's just copy paste some code from here. Okay, you can see MySQL 2. We have this connection. I think so this will not do our job the way we want. will do definitely job, but the way we want is different, little different. Okay, let's set it, let's just open. Okay, you need this thing, just copy this one and just paste it. Okay, const pool is a variable which is gonna store this create pool, whatever there is, whatever there is disconnect pool being generated, and our host is here local host, because we are using our Xampp server which is being run on the, it's running MySQL on our local host. We will be using root and we don't have any password for the root, and we need to create a database. Okay, to create a database you can go to Xampp. You see, when you see Xampp, you can check it is running on port 8801. Okay, let's then go to your local host, that is 127.0.0.1888801, I think so, that was that. Okay, when you go 8801 you can click on PHP my admin. Okay, let's create a new table. Okay, let's just asking our name. Creating database. Okay, let's create, let's name it app. Okay, let's create it. Inside let's name it table. Let's table name is to do. We will be required at least 3 columns for ID and content. ID and content, and we can also go with something. Let's just create 3 columns. Okay, first we need ID, a unique identification thing. Then go for, you can go for title or text. Let's just go for title. Let's just go for title, and we can also go for date. This way it's a good thing, date. Okay, you can define a data types here. ID will be definitely int, title will be a text or varchar. Let's go for int and date, and you get to set it as a primary key, because ID will be primary. And basically primary key, you can check on internet what this thing means. We do it the way I'm saying, it will work differently. Let's go save, and okay, saying give a valid length. Let's just use 6 here. Title, for title list you can use 5000. For date you can use 2 plus 4 plus 6. Let's just use 8, doesn't matter. Let's just save. Okay, you can see our schema has been created. We now need to insert our basic data. Let's just create our basic to do ID 1, and we can give a title, do your chemistry homework before night. Okay, then we have date. We can use something for date. Okay, let's just try 6 February. But job is, let's click on go, and you can see our one row has been inserted. You can also check it and click on browse. You can see there is one added here. Okay, now we can also see this using our database. To let's just try to query it from here. Const result, go this result, and we can type pool dot query. We can use async and await, or better async. For that you need to mention here promise. Okay, now async, and let's just use await. Okay, async and await, asynchronous way of handling things. You can check it's the JavaScript concept, and we can write select star from our table. What is our table name? First thing is need that our database is not my database, its name is app. Okay, you can get back, check its app here. I think it's visible to you. You can check its app. Okay, now let's just start. Our table name is do. Okay, from table name to do, it's to do. Okay, let's just we'll run this query, and what will be the output of it? Let's just console log it right now. Just don't, we're not sending this console dot log, and this will result will be console. Save and restart our server. Just, and if any error throws, okay, we don't have any error, this means it is working. Let's just try to generate a get request. How will we get request generate? We'll go to our front end and refresh and click on the area where there is the div. A get request is generated. Some saying some chorus origin resource policy error. Then restart and we'll just check. Okay, let me just see what is the issue. We are using app produce chorus here, chorus. Our port number is okay. Everything's working. Save. Okay, you can see we have an error. There was something generated. App to do does not exist. I think so. Maybe this capital issue. I think so. Capital T save request was generated. You can restart our server. You basically need to do some error handling here. For now, just not doing it. Just for the purpose of, you see, we have hello world here and our result that you can see, our SQL ID, title and date. Let's just, but we want only this first element of the array. So to get it, we just use this 0 indexing, and we can just restart. Or we can also use something called loadmon, but for now let's just type it, nothing big thing, and let's resend the get request. You can see when I clicking in the div area is generating, or main area is generating this trigger. This trigger basically is here generating get request based on the trigger. The trigger is click here. Let's just see what does I have. Okay, we can see we have this thing. Let's just see what we can, how can we have our ID. Can we do like this? 0. I don't think this will be possible. Let's just see. Save, and let's now use nodemon to install. And nodemon basically runs the server whenever there is a change here. npm install nodemon. Okay, you can see nodemon is there. Let's try to see nodemon index.js. It is working. Okay, let's not go in this way. You can just go to package.json in text. You can just write start and write nodemon index.js, and just need to mention comma and save it. Go to Nodejs file and type npm start, and we have our nodemon running. Okay, vast file, too many files, to-do list server, too many files in. Thanks. So is there too many files open? Which are the files that are open? Let's just leave it right now. I can fix. Let's just fix later on. Let's go with node.index.js. Let's just see here. Then let's click this request generated, and you can see we have this thing inside the bracket. If it's an object, we can ID do this thing, maybe ideally save and generate and do everything. Let's just restart our server. This is the issue, that's why we need nodemon. And click, and we don't have something of IDE. I think so we can just iterate over it if we want. Okay, let's just try to send this const HTML. Let me call it HTML, response HTML. Basically a string where we will be inserting this thing. Okay, let's just copy our string here from here, this one, and inner HTML, save, Control C. Okay, just Nodejs, put it here, and now what we'll be doing, we'll be changing this thing. Not done editing, we just don't need it to be removed, but let's let it be here. We'll see. Okay, let's just change it with the result .0 .0, and we need something to iterate for it. And that thing is that. Okay, we can say result .0 .0 for each. Okay, let's just remove this thing, and let's try to send this thing plus HTML and save. Let's see what happens. See, just say hello. We need to restart our server. Boring stuff. Object and object. To access an object, we need to do it this way. Okay, just let me store this one in a variable, this object, result object. Okay, we just can use this thing called const result object, and just say, I'm not deleting console, but this is helpful for us to identify what are the issues. And now we can just print this result object, and we can just say result object, this where this id stuff. Can I find it? See, and start a server and click on it. One is coming. What does thing one means here? Oh, it's saying ID, but we don't need ID, we need title. Okay, title, save and restart. Okay, restart our server first. Okay, refresh, click on it, do your chemistry homework before night. You can see little have a stage where it's just little working. Let's start with number. I'm going to span, can go span and type span here and just give it ID. We'll be doing some better. It will really improving this thing. Don't worry. Just see what I'm doing, and you will also come to know about it. It's just way to access object using key. This title is a key here. Okay, for this one is ID is key, ID. Okay, and see, it should work when we start our server. That is the thing, and it's just go like this and refresh not needed. See, do you do your chemistry homework before night? Let me just reduce the size of the font because this is too much. Title CSS, our font is big. Okay, our font size is large for button, not for here. The font size or more than large. Okay, this way we refresh and it's working. Okay, we have done edit and delete. Now we can add, now we need to add a post request. So like we just add a write your blog, and when we click on the add, it should add. For that thing we need to do something. Let's just stop our server, index.html. Let's go to our form. Okay, when this form submit action, okay, action, you can say it's submit action generated to which URL need to specify. For that just Control C and Control V, and we can say add to do, just say add to do. And to manage that endpoint we need to get a new get request here, get request or post request, that is here post request, okay, in add to do path. This time we're not sending something, we can send some happy stuff, but for now let's just move all this thing. Okay, but the query here will not be this one, the query will be a little different. It will insert into table, insert into our to do table, insert a table name to do, it's capital T, to do, and values will be this one. Inside, whatever this inside here will be values basically. We can use prepared statement, but I was using something different, some different manner. And just use this one, and there's 3 values. So there are 3 values. First 3 values. You can see we do have 3 values to insert. For that we need to check our request body. Request body. Let's just console.log request body. See, I'm just showing us. And you can just go it from here, and it will generate one click, unable to connect to localhost. Why? Because server is not running. Let's restart our server, start our server, get back, and send a request. Can't get to add to do. Get, it's not get request, it's a post request. Thing with that. And why it's just generating get request. Let me just check our HTMX. Okay, go to HTMX. We do have something for forms here. Request response attribute. Let's just go to here, trigger. Forms. Form is triggered when submit event is clicked. Everything else is triggered on the click event. Okay, form is triggered. We can define something called method in the form, and that is basically method. Let's post here and just save. This way we're not generating. When I click on post request, okay, what does happen right now? It'll just save it, and something click. The connection was reset. I think the server is off again. Okay, insert into values, not define any values, that's why just throwing us error. We can just see right now random values. Just go for random values, just hi and date, something like 202234. We'll show difference in data types, but let's just click now, leave it. Restart the server. Nothing should stop. And just go back, post request, and we'll do error again. Incorrect data type, it's date. Okay, let me then just give number 20. And what's possible here? Just give me 2024. Save, should work. Are you working? Let's go back, Add. So you can check the manual responsibility of my ID server and syntax error 2024. If data type issue, just do something and check it's working or not. We can check on internet though. Okay, server is small. Okay, this time we do have something. That means we do have something. Okay, console.log requested body is undefined. Why is that? You can go for request, save, and restart our server. Let's check. Let's get back. Send a request. Okay, server is off. Some error. Duplicate entries. This means the inserted they have inserted the table. You can check that will come to our this thing. Whereas page admin. Okay, go to structure and we will use till call. Inside app, table, new, to do, and you can check there's 7 high 0 something. It was inserted basically. So that's why it's saying duplicate entry for primary key. We want to know about requested body because we need to know requested body dot values because we need that stuff so that we can put replace save restart and send the request again from here, request and send. I mostly send and it says undefined. Why? It's very empty and something happening, and I know that is basically form data, and we can check it. There's some request. Let's just check request, and you can check its properties and go to the section where there is a value stored. Let's click on add. Nothing working because service again. No, an entry was made. Just keep making entries. We can delete it later on. Okay, just back. Click on add. Generated. Okay, you can see we have that list of properties in the object, and we need to find the one which is suitable for us. That is, I think so 2 times printed. That's why there's a big thing here. Okay, we need something like parameters. Response, root, post, duplicate entry. Wow. Request. Inside request we have requested body, that is here requested body, and I think we need to convert it to some kind of file. Requested body application parsing application JSON. We need to do those things also. Okay, let's try to do it again. Requested body is there. Let's just use this parsing thing because I think that's needed, and we just go to our interface and I just thing is so big and just add this one. Do it this way. This is middle is save. Now maybe we can see our object or request body, whatever call it, request body, and just save it and start our terminal. Go to our terminal and just clear this out. You see, clear, and start our server, not for this, and we'll generate the request. Go to our page, and back, click on add, connection will reset. Why? Duplicate entries. Wow, so good. Why is that opening full view mode? Okay, now it's write something stupid here. Wait for it. Save it. I will make sure that I'll be using Node 1 for the next video, definitely. Okay, you can see add generated. We do have something here, requested body. And why does we just have this thing? Because it's an object. We can just have the object. Welcome to this video again. You saw me struggling with the requested body. I just fixed it by restarting everything, and it was fixed. Now you can see when there is something typed in and add is clicked in, it will work. Just not working is because primary key is same. Let's see me, so I will fix it. Okay, I also have set up the node mon same way. Just gone to this package log rotation, I think so, and then I put start here and node mon index.js, and now and then I just typed npm start and it is started. And you can see also when I type something and add, I do have it here. Okay, now I can use it for our purpose. Okay, now when the post request is generated, we want to change our data based on the requested body. The requested body that has a title. So for using that, you can write just this here. Say request dot body dot title. We can go for title. Okay, now save it, and for the date and that part, I will try to have date as the current date when this thing is generated. Basically, I did some changes. The first change I did is change the data type of the our date. You can just go to this date section and you can click on the change, and when you click on the change, you can go and set your this data type to varchar and length values to 500 or less. Okay, after doing that, I have gone for the prepared statement. Before that, I also created a variable called const date, which is where we created this object this new using this const date new date, and we have used it in the prepared statement. Prepared statement basically goes that, like, you don't directly put inside the values inside the query, you just put it using some variables. How do I put in using variables? Like, you can see that the values are provided three question marks. The three question marks will be matching up with these values that you provide here, like this. Okay, as you can see that we have requested by the title and date in some format. Okay, let me save it, and I will just go to my web page and get back. And when I will click on add, you see here we do have here we have our string, and also that has been added to our database. You can check in browse and click to browse. See, and do your home whatever that thing I type with the date also. Okay, let's just go to now we can able to see our title thing, and we are also able to push to our database. This means we are successful in adding. Now in the part uh, where we are presenting, where we were able to display the data, that is this part here, this one. You can see this one here. There will multiple to dos based on the what I'm being added. For that, I can just go to this one. When I see result object, I'm just printing for an one. So to print same, just crashing for loop equals to result equals, I'm just using a string and just trying to concatenate it. What is this thing? Okay. Let's just wait. I will come. Okay, let me make you understand what was just happening. The issue was when I was storing the result in result object variable. It was only able to store one of the elements of that array. And when you see this result object when consoling, you'll see. Let me just create a request and go down. Okay. Okay, you can see there are multiple data, and these are these are a single object. You can see a single object are the elements. These are array of objects. To iterate over them, I just store this here, where this variable is having this array, and to iterate over this array, first the one of the thing I just created was this variable called output, which is basically a string, and it's var, because this will be changing. Okay, to iterate over this array, I just use resulted object, the name of the variable, dot for each and element elm for the a keyword for reference, and then I just concatenated the string for each and every objects. Like for this first one, I added the ID, I added the title, I added the ID, I added a title, and then after in the last I just send that as output. And console log, you can also see the console log. I already have the earlier console log. You can see, I have a bigger string, bigger HTML string, which have all the elements data from the SQL. Okay, and I have sent this as output. This HTML basically is a hypermedia, as a set of transfer data for transferring data. They use hypermedia. Okay, or hypermedia, whatever they call it. The HTML is a form here they use. Okay, to let's just remove console or comment it, and now you can see it's already working. I click it. Let's just have to we have to this point. So let's just go to little lesser, and we can go to lesser one, and we can go to pixel. I'm just fixing the CSS. It was not looking good that time, and also some issues with the code. That is here. Everything good, work fine. And why is it not working? Okay, done. Deleted it. We need to have some margin 0 full pixel. Save. Okay, now we can